Welcome to the Summer 2024 GCSE Edexcel 1 MA1 series. This is paper 1, the non-calculator paper. That sequence is 3 less than the 4 times table, so 4n minus 3. For question number 2, you take the two fractions and make them top-heavy. So 3 and 4 fifths is 19 fifths, 1 and 2 thirds is 5 thirds. Get myself a common denominator, multiply the first fraction by 3, the second fraction by 5, top and bottom, and we get 57 over 15 minus 25 over 15. Subtract the numerators, turn it back into a mixed number, 2 and 2/15 for that one. Poor Kevin has thought that 35 is the same as 24 plus 9. Of course it's not, it's 24 plus 11, so it should be 11 over 24. Not 9 over 24, something that shows that you've spotted that 9 should be an 11. Would do it. Question 3, I'm going to split the shape into 2 separate sections, giving me a 4 by 5 and an 8 by 6 compound shape. The total area, 6 times 8 plus 5 times 4, it's going to be 48 plus 20, it's 68 square meters. 2.5 litres per tin, 3 tins, so 3 times 2.5 times 10. It means that she can cover 75 square metres now, because 75 is a bigger number than 68. Then indeed Petra will have enough paint to cover that size floor. For B, 1 litre of paint can cover 11 square metres. Well, that's going to be even more than the 10 square metres we'd assumed. So she can cover even more flooring. She already had enough, so she can cover even more. Than it's not going to be a problem. So no, this is not going to affect my answer to part A. She will be able to cover even more floor than before. Question 4, P prime, P complement, whatever you want to call it, P complement's probably best. The numbers that are not in P, 10, 11, 13, 14, 16 and 17. Then P union P, there are 5 numbers in the union of the two sets out of the total of 9, so 5/9. So 513 kilometres, if we divide that by 10, we work out the number of times that she pays 0.81 euros, so times that by 0.81, that's the calculation. We need to estimate those, so I'm going to round them to one significant figure, 500 over 10 times by 0.8, same as 50 times 0.8, which is 40, so our estimate is 40. Is that an underestimate or an overestimate? Well, it's an underestimate because we have rounded both the 513 and the 0.81. We've rounded them both down. And as we are sort of multiplying these together, the answer we get when we estimate is going to be lower than the actual answer. So my answer to B is an underestimate, as both of those were rounded down. Question number 6, so the gradient of that is 3 over 2. The gradient of the line is 3 over 2, y-intercept of 3, so y equals 3 over 2x plus 3. If you use 1.5 instead of 3 over 2, that's fine. And for B, y equals 5x plus or minus anything will do. You do need to have plus or minus and then something, but 5x plus 1 is the one I went with. But any of them are good. Question 7, Kasim, with the small jars, medium jars and large jars, total of 400 jars, so 3/8 of 400 is 150. We know that the number of small jars to medium jars is 3 to 4 and medium to large is 1 to 2, so we can write that as 3 to 4 to 8. Then we can divide our 150 in the ratio 3 to 4 to 8, so divide 150 by the sum of those. 150 by 15 means that each part in that ratio is worth 10. The number of small parts, well, there are 3 parts for the small jars, so 3 lots of 10 gives us 30 small empty jars. So that's 30 out of the 400 jars. Divide the top and bottom by 4. Gives us 7.5 out of 100, which is 7.5%. Question number 8. Learn his parcels. So to work out the total weight of the 8 parcels, we'll times 8 by 2.5, so the 8 parcels will weigh 20 kilograms. The 3 parcels will weigh 6, so I'll subtract that 6 from the 20 to give me 14. So the remaining 5 parcels must weigh 14. 14 divided by 5 to find the average of those is 2.8. Multiplying by 0.7 is the same as decreasing something by 30%. Simultaneous equations. I'm using the elimination method here. I've decided to eliminate y's. I figured that might have slightly smaller numbers. If you eliminated x's, you'd have to multiply the top equation by 2 and the bottom equation by 5. You can get some numbers in the hundreds. It'll still work if you do it correctly. Anyway, eliminating the y's, multiply the first equation by 3, the second one by 2. Subtract one equation from the other, we get 11x equal to 33. So x is equal to 3. Substitute the 3 back into either of the 2 equations. Solve it to get y equals negative 4. So x is 3, y is negative 4 are the solutions to my equations. Alright, for triangle A, to translate it by the vector 6, negative 4, that means moving it 6 places to the right and 4 places down. You can do it point by point if you like. So vertex by vertex, join those up and we get our new shape B. Then we're rotating B 90 degrees about the point 1, 2. You can do this with tracing paper if you like tracing paper, or perhaps you're able to just visualize sort of B being attached to that center of rotation by solid bars and it being rotated around. And it ends up where I've drawn the shape C, just there. Then we have to describe how to rotate A onto C. And of course it's a 90 degrees rotation, so 90 degrees clockwise. And then to find the center of rotation, a few ways of doing that. I've just visualized this one, so negative 4, 1 is going to be the center. You can test it with tracing paper. You can connect up vertices and find perpendicular bisectors if you want. I think it's easier just to visualize it. Alright, learn your graphs, H, F, J. It's really easy if you know what they look like. Not much more to be said about that. If you don't know them, go away and learn them now. Alright, question 13, the histogram question. First thing I'm going to do is calculate the frequency density by dividing the frequency by the class width. This actually tells me the height of each of these rectangles. And the frequency density, well, the scale that makes most sense, given the largest frequency density is 4.2, is to go up in units from 1 to 5. And that's my frequency density. Do label the axes. Then along the bottom, time. It makes most sense to go up in tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And let's call that one time. Okay, the first bar, 0 to 10, has got a frequency density of 2, so I draw it from 0 to 10 at height 2. Second bar, frequency density of 3.5 from 10 to 30, and continue with the rest so that their height matches the frequency density and the width goes from the class width. Then between 20 and 40 minutes, I'll draw a couple of extra lines in, find the areas of each of those rectangles. We've got 35, we've got 22 we already knew about, and 10. That totals 67 when you add them together, so 67 out of the 150 people, 67 150ths for B. Question 14, expanding a triple set of brackets. Pick any two, doesn't really matter which two you pick. I've picked the first two, expand those out, and then multiply each part in the first bracket by each part in the second bracket. Like so. The order doesn't matter as long as you get all of them. I've done them in descending powers of x here. And then 7x squared minus 30x squared is minus 23x squared. Minus 3x minus 35x is minus 38x. So the final answer is 6x cubed minus 23x squared minus 38x plus 15. Okay, the sector of a circle question. So it tells us the length of the arc AB is 5 pi centimeters. So using the formula for arc length, theta 360ths of 2 pi r is equal to 5 pi. R is of course 6, so theta 360ths times by 2 times 6. Well, 2 times 6 is 12. 12 over 36 is 1 over 30, so we can cancel the pi's, then multiply both sides by 30. We'll get theta being 150. To find the area, theta 360ths of pi r squared. So now theta being 150, 360ths of pi r squared. And I cancelled the fraction down by dividing the top and bottom by 10. That way the 36 cancels, and the 36's cancel nicely, leaving me with 15 pi. For the orange suite, we need an orange suite and an orange suite. So there's n out of n plus 1 for the first pick, and then one fewer orange suite and one fewer total number of suites for the second pick, so n minus 1 over n. Multiply those two together, multiply the numerators, denominators, cancel the n's, and we're left with n minus 1 over n plus 1. Question 17, rationalising the denominator, so multiply by root 7 over root 7. Root 7 times root 7 is 7, so it's root 7 over 7. For root 80 minus root 5, well, root 80 is the same as root 16 times root 5. If you divided it by 4 and split it, you can do that, and you'd have to repeat that step twice. But root 16 times root 5 minus root 5 is 4 root 5 minus root 5. And 4 lots of root 5, subtract 1 lot of root 5 will give me 3 lots of root 5, 3 root 5. Question 18. So x is 0.15 recurring. It's all nicely set up already. I don't need to do any manoeuvring, so I'm going to multiply it by 100 straight away. 15.15 recurring, subtract the top from the second, gives us 99x being equal to 15. Divide both sides by 99x is 15 99ths, simplifies to 5 over 33. For the y equals 0.2, then 27 recurring, I'm going to multiply by 10 first to bring the recurring part up to the decimal point. Then there's 2 recurring bits, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 100. So that will leave me with 1000y being equal to 227.27 recurring. We can then subtract 10y from 1000y, giving us 990y. On the right hand side, the recurring bits cancel, leaving us with 225. And then you can go through whatever process you want to simplify that fraction down to 15/66. You could cancel it further. I stopped there because I'm looking for the answer to be m over 66. So adding the two together, we've got 5 over 33 plus 15 over 66. I turn my 5 over 3 into 5 over 33 into 10 over 66. Add the numerators together and we get 25 over 66, which is what the question wanted. Question 19, the key to unlocking this one is to realise that ABC and ABD, they are similar triangles. Even though ABC is a rotation, they're still similar triangles. So we've got this structure of similarity we can play with. AB is going to match up with AD on the larger triangle. That's AB on the smaller triangle is going to match up with AD on the larger triangle. AC will match up with BD, and AB on the larger triangle will match up with BC on the smaller triangle. If you can get that visual in your head, everything else will flow from it. So BC over AB that sort of the shortest side of both of the triangles will be equal to AB over AD. Those are the two that match up. 4 over x is equal to x over 25. Solve it and we can work out that x is 10. Therefore a to b to a to d will be 10 to 25 because they match up, and that ratio simplifies to 2 to 5. Alright, question 20, just playing back with the indice rules. So we know that 2 to the power of y is equal to root 2 to the power of 5. Well, root 2 is the same as 2 to the power of a half. So 2 to the power of half to the power of 5 multiplied together, we get 2 to the power of 5 over 2. So y must be 5 over 2. X plus y is 8, so x will be equal to 8 minus 5 over 2, which is the same as 11 over 2. So 2 to the power of 11 over 2, I'll just leave it as 2 to the power of x for now, will be equal to 2 to the power of n divided by the cube root is 2 to the power of a third. So we can subtract the powers, that's going to be n minus a third. So the powers are the same, x is equal to n minus a third. We calculated x to be 11 over 2, so 11 over 2 equals n minus a third, so n will be equal to 33 over 6 plus 2 over 6 when I get the common denominator. Add the numerators, 35 over 6, or 5 5/6 if you prefer. Alright, for our solid cuboid, there's my little sketch. Let's call the base y, the height x, and the length 20. Tells us that the volume is 300, so 20 lots of xy will be equal to 300. Divide both sides by 20, divide both sides by x, and we get y equals 15 over x. For the surface area, which is 370, we can work out the 3 faces we can see and then multiply that all by 2. That will come out as 370. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 2 just to get rid of the 2 from the front of that, and I'm going to substitute y for 15 over x twice. So it would become x times 15 over x plus 20 times 15 over x. That would be equal to 185. I've halved the 370. I've divided 370 by 2 to get rid of the 2 on the left. Then x times 15 over x is 15. 20 times 15 is 300, so 300 over x still equal to 185. Then I'm going to multiply both sides by x, and I'm going to bring the 185x as it becomes onto the left hand side. So 15x minus 185x is minus 170x plus the 300 that's left. Everything there is divisible by 10, so let's divide everything by 10. 2x squared minus 17x plus 30 equals 0. So it's going to be a 2x and an x, and then a 5 and a 6. Make sure you pair them up carefully. 2x minus 5 times x minus 6 equals 0. If you've used the formula at that point, that's fine. And you get x equals to 5 over 2, or x equals 6. Well, we want the height to be the shorter length, so I'm going to select 5 over 2 for my answer. Alright, for the sine graph, let's mark in boundaries at 1 and minus 1. I'm going to label those as well. We get a maximum at 90 and a minimum at 270. It crosses the x-axis at 0, 180 and 360. And then you've got to do your best shot at trying to get that sinusoidal shape, the wave shape, and passing through all the points. My diagrams are often terrible. This is one of the better ones. For part B, I'm going to draw a line for at negative a half, dividing both sides by 2, and we can see from the pattern we're looking at those two values. It's going to be 30 more than 180 and 30 less than 360. So that's 210 and 330. Question 23. I'm afraid you're going to have to put up with a poor sketch. There's my axes, and there's my best attempt at a circle. Yeah, it's not the best. Hopefully you can forgive me. Right, we know that P is the point 510. I'm going to draw a little horizontal line there when x equals -2. And so our point Q has got an x-coordinate of -2 there and sits on the circle. There's my line L that passes through Q and P. Alright, so first step, I'm going to find the y-coordinate of Q. We're dealing with a circle here, so x squared plus y squared equals r squared. We know it passes through 510, so 5 squared plus 10 squared is 125. The equation of this circle is x squared plus y squared equals 125. Substituting x to be -2 into that equation, -2 squared plus y squared equals 125. Subtract the 4 from both sides, -2 squared is 4 of course. So y squared is 121, y equals plus or minus 11. The plus 11 one would be the solution at the top, and that would not give L to have a positive gradient. That would give L would have a negative gradient if it passed through the points at the top. So we take the -11 solution. All right, the gradient of L, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's 10 subtract -11 over 5 subtract -2. Which is going to be 21 over 7, or 3 if you prefer. So our line's got equation y equals, well, mx plus c, but m is 3 and c is going to be k here. It's where it crosses the y-axis. And we can use either point that we know it passes through to solve it. I've chosen P because it's simpler. You see, plugging it in there, subtract 15 from both sides. K is -5, and we are done. Well done if you got that one. Bye.